My mic's on. I mean... Oh! Ooh! Hello, ghouls and goblins. Ig will be here soon. I'm here. Hello, spooks and specters. How are you doing? Right. We can hop right on into this. The first tape I've got is Slightly Scary Stories for Halloween, made by Scholastic. The copy I have was written on by somebody named Hopkins. And I'm not a big fan of what this witch is doing. I'll say that. So we'll see where this one goes. Y'all hear it okay? Hello, Scantron and Danny and Donovan.
By the light of the Halloween moon. A toe. A lean and gleaming toe that taps a tune in the dead of night. By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon. A cat. A thin black wisp of a spying cat who eyes the toe.
Okay.
Taps a tune in the dead of night. By the light, by the light.
Starting off strong.
By the silvery light of the Halloween moon. A witch, a watchful witch with streaming hair, who snatches the cat when he springs through the air.
Oh,
To
okay.
catch the toe that taps a tune.
Okay, the
in
witch
dead
is
of
not
night.
trying to catch the toe. That's good.
By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon. A bat. A bungling,
That is
bouncy, breezy bat.
Very
Who bumps the
springy
witch
bat.
as she snatches the cat. when he springs through the air to catch the toe that taps a tune in the dead of night. By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon.
God, what?
A ghoul.
Who's this guy?
A ghastly, drooling graveyard ghoul.
Call him a ghoul, but he looks like a man.
Who bumps the witch as she snatches the cat.
Seems a little bit
He
mean.
springs through the air to catch the toe that taps a tune in the dead of night. By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A ghost! A Willow ghost! Who trips the ghoul? Who swats at the bat? Who bumps the witch as she snatches the cat? When he springs through the air to catch the toe that taps a tune in the
Okay,
dead
so
of
only the
night.
cat's trying to get the toe, right?
By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon.
For a second I thought that man was trying to eat the toe with a fork.
A sprite! A grumpy, grungy hobgoblin
Oh.
sprite.
I'm not a fan of the sprite.
Bites the ghost. Who trips the ghoul.
Ghosts can be
Who
bitten.
swats at the bat. Who bumps the witch as she
I want to
snatches
bite a
the cat.
ghost.
When he springs through the air to catch the toe that taps a tune in the dead of night.
You haven't lived until you've eaten a ghost.
By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon. A girl. A small, bright slip of a smiling girl. Who smacks the sprite. Who bites the ghost. Who trips the ghoul.
Yeah, Donovan, the
Who
toe
swats
witch
at the
is
bat.
absolutely coming after you right
Who
now.
bumps the witch as she snatches the cat.
She's on her way to your
When he
house.
springs through the air to catch the toe.
You better hope there's some
that
typical,
taps
like,
a tune
I-4
in
road
the dead of
construction.
night. Oh no, you don't. That toe is mine. By the light, by the light, by the silvery light of the Halloween moon.
Alright, that one was kind of spooky, just because I, you know, a few times thought there were adults trying to eat this, this child's toe. I guess I'll give that, like, a 6 out of 10. Ghost. What's under my bed?
Well, time for bed. I hope that story wasn't too scary for you.
Oh no, Grandpa. Not for us.
We're not worried about toe witches.
Well, sleep well.
Would you leave the door open a little? Or a lot?
Certainly. Good night.
Louie. What? I didn't believe that story. Did you?
Of course not. Especially the monster part.
And the screaming part. Do you hear something?
Like what?
Like something coming up the stairs?
It's nothing.
Look at that shadow on the wall. Here it comes.
It's getting bigger.
It's only Leonard.
Boy, are we glad to see you.
Louie,
What?
I think there's something under my bed.
There's nothing under your bed.
How do you know?
I just know.
Take a look.
I'm too tired.
I bet you're afraid to put your feet over the edge.
No, I'm not.
Just like poke your head down.
Well, hello. What seems to be the trouble?
Something was under our beds.
Is that so?
Yeah, it is the dog from the
very
thing.
Same thing happened to me once.
See that animated in
Long
the
ago,
style.
When I was visiting my grandparents. I was about your age, and the house was strange. I was a little bit scared on my way to bed. As I went up the stairs, glittery eyes stared at me through the window.
Those were probably just fireflies, Grandpa.
Well, perhaps you're right. My room was at the end of a long, long hall.
Mustache child.
I went into my room, put on my pajamas, picked up a book, and read for a while. Suddenly, I realized I'd forgotten to look under the bed. I worked up my nerve and took a peek. It was awful. A creature with wild hair, no head, and a long tail was standing there.
But Grandpa, wasn't that your shoes, your bathrobe, and your hairbrush just where you had left them?
Why, that's just what it was.
Why would you keep your hairbrush under the
Back
bed?
into bed.
And how did you guess
And I
that
heard
exactly,
some
kid?
horrible sounds. Little creatures on
Ooh,
stilts.
gobos.
They went knick knock, knick knock.
Grandpa, was there a big grandfather clock in the hall?
Why, yes, there was.
Well, what did it sound like?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I closed my eyes. A huge and terrible bird flew in. I could feel its feathers on my face.
Probably not a big bird, Grandpa.
No? Then what could it have been?
A few moths.
Just what it was. But then, outside my
Wait,
window,
how
I
you
heard pirates
mistake
fighting with swords.
Multiple knots for one bird.
Probably some cats jumping on garbage cans.
Probably. Well, then the bats came in. I could hear them fluttering all around me.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
Could it have been the wind fluttering the pages of your book?
Not only could have been, it was.
You should have closed the window.
Just what I did.
All quiet after that?
Yes. Until the ghosts started wailing and moaning.
You should have shut the window tighter.
Right you are. I got up and shut the window tighter.
Safe at last, eh?
Well, I thought so. But then I heard the skeletons climbing up the side of the house. Their bones were creaking as they climbed.
Were you scared, Grandpa?
Indeed, I was.
You shouldn't have been. It was the branches of the tree creaking in the wind.
How did you know?
Sure.
Well, it was getting hot, so I foolishly opened the window again.
Not a good idea?
No, the light blew out.
Were you scared in the dark, Grandpa?
Well, just until I got used to it.
And you felt better?
No, worse. The Then I could see what was coming in the window.
Such as?
Oh, goblins, witches, spiders, giants, monsters, dragons, slitherers and creepers,
spiders.
leeches that wriggled, wretches that giggled.
Good thing spiders
creatures
don't
that
actually
screeched,
exist.
creatures that reached and pinched and poked and nibbled and dribbled, snapped and stomped and squished, scratches and catches, growlers and howlers, things that were smelly or shaky like jelly. Suddenly they all started chasing me. I ran out of the door. I could hear something coming after me. I ran from one room to another and down the halls. I ran upstairs and down, and finally I stopped to rest. I looked behind me, and nothing was there.
So you were safe and sound, Grandpa?
No, that's when they grabbed me.
Who? What?
What?
Well, what seems to be the trouble, lad? We heard you running around. Why, it was only my grandpa and grandma. They thought maybe I was hungry. They gave me a big bowl of strawberry ice cream.
So there are no
I
parents
felt
in this story.
much better.
Do you have any
So-
ice cream, Grandpa?
Well,
I guess
wouldn't hurt to take a look.
somehow every other generation is just skipped in this world. I don't know how that works. Michael Sporn and Bridget Thorne. Whoa, live action suddenly.
Now I'm going to tell you a very old story. It's called Teeny Tiny and the Witch
That
Woman.
one wasn't very scary. I'm gonna rate it like 3 out of 10 ghosts. This one's already scaring me. I think this woman's a real witch. Oh.
Once there was, and twice there wasn't, a family of 3 brothers. Big one in the middle, and teeny tiny. Every day, their mother said, "You can play anywhere in the village, but do not go into the forest.
Where does this take
Granny
place?
says a witch woman lives there, where the trees are darkest. She eats little children and
Those are
uses
some pretty good
their
tree faces. I like
bones
them.
to make a fence around her house."
Where does this take place? The village looks
One
vaguely
morning,
European, the
when
clothes
no
do, but then
one
there's like
was looking,
a mosque in the
Big
background.
One said, "Let's go into the forest to play." "Yes," agreed in the middle. "I'm not afraid of any old witch woman. Come on, Teeny Tiny." Now, Teeny Tiny didn't want to go, but he went anyway. "I'll keep my eyes open and my legs ready to run," he told himself. Little by little, the shadows grew longer, and Big One in the middle and Teeny Tiny grew hungry. But no matter where they looked, the boys could not find the path to the village. At last, Teeny Tiny climbed a tree to look farther. I see a light, he called.
He's looking away for a minute. We got 3 boys in the woods. Here's some very scary tree faces.
Come in, my children. Wait, whispered Teeny Tiny. Remember what our granny said. Oh, that can't be the witch woman, said Big One. She's so kind to ask us in. I'm tired and hungry, said In the Middle. You're just afraid because you're little. Afraid? The old woman cackled. You needn't be afraid of me. I love little children.
Big red flag. Run. Run.
Stay with me. Share my dinner. I have room for all of you in my little house tonight. Tomorrow I'll show you your way home. But come now and smell the good dinner I have for you.
Oh my god.
What good smells came
Like a
out of
Junji
that
Ito
kettle.
face.
Come on, said Big One. I'm going inside. You may call me Auntie. Teeny Tiny looked around at all he could see. Auntie, he asked, what do you keep in that cage? Cage? In my cage? Oh, sometimes I keep stray dogs. And sometimes I keep stray cats. And sometimes stray children? Wondered Teeny Tiny. You must be tired, said the old woman. Come now, into the bedroom.
Scary spider. Good thing those don't
Sleep
exist.
well. And tomorrow, just see if I don't show you your way home.
Who is raising these kids and not teaching them stranger danger?
The moonlight shone down on that knobby white fence. It was made of bones, leg bones, arm bones, little people bones. Teeny Tiny stared at the fence. Then he looked at Big One and In the Middle, already sound asleep. They didn't know, but Teeny Tiny did. This was indeed the house of the witch woman. Who is awake and who
Probably would have actually freaked me out when I was 4. Like, this is pretty unsettling.
One is awake. Teeny Tiny, why don't you sleep? Well, Auntie, my mother always cooks me an egg before I go to bed. Then I go to sleep. So the old woman
Yum.
cooked an egg.
Dead eggs.
And Teeny Tiny ate it. But still he did not go to sleep. And after a while, the woman called again. Who is awake and who is asleep? The littlest one is awake, said Teeny Tiny. What? Still awake? Well, Auntie, my mother gives me popcorn and raisins at bedtime.
What?
Then I go to sleep.
What? Why is this?
The old woman brought him popcorn and raisins, but still he did not
These
go
kids
to
eat
sleep.
strange bedtime
After a
foods.
while, she called again.
Popcorn and raisins?
Who is awake and who is asleep? The littlest one is
Fucking
awake.
white people food.
What can I get you to help you sleep?
Oh god, that is a terrifying face.
Auntie, all that popcorn has made me thirsty. At home, when I'm thirsty, my mother goes to the well to fetch me water in a sieve. When I drink it, then I go to sleep. As the old woman bent to fetch her
I
sieve,
don't, Mike. I haven't eaten popcorn since I was 2 years old. I tried it once and was absolutely disgusted. I have not eaten popcorn since.
Better to leave them here safe than to lose them outside in the dark by the well.
I enjoy that lizard creature.
a needle and a
Very
short,
long-snouted
sharp
lizard.
knife on a high
Enjoy.
shelf. Then she opened the door softly and started toward the well. Wake up! Auntie is that witch woman. If we don't hurry, we'll be her dinner tomorrow. I heard her say she'd leave 3 magic objects on the high kitchen shelf. If she says they're magic, they just may be magic. 1, 2, 3, he tucked them into his pocket and ran with his brothers down the moonlit path. As for the old woman, she just couldn't catch any water in the sieve, and she couldn't catch any water in the sieve. Away she went, running after them. As the old woman came closer and closer, Teeny Tiny took out the cake of soap. I'll try this first. Even if it isn't magic, at least she might slip on it.
Oh my god.
You took my magic soap.
Teeny Tiny threw the cake of soap right into her path.
My magic soap. Got my magic soap.
Oh, it's no
But you're
use.
climbing on the
I'll
subs.
have to run around it.
I guess it's magic.
I'll catch you.
Then Teeny Tiny picked the needle out of his pocket. Whether it's magic or not, I'll prick her with this needle,
Oh,
cried the witch woman.
you found my magic needle too.
And suddenly, the needle became many needles, a whole mountain of needles, all prickly and sharp.
It's no use. I must run around them. No, I'll catch you.
She cried. Finally, Teeny Tiny pulled the knife from his pocket. If
Yeah,
it
get the
isn't
knife.
magic, at least she may cut her foot on it, and we could escape.
Don't
It's
turn
our
around and, like,
only
stab her.
chance.
You took my magic knife too.
That knife cut a crack so long and so wide that the witch woman couldn't run around it and couldn't jump over it.
I'll get you next time.
The three boys didn't stop running until they reached their own home. As for the witch woman, she'll wait a long, long time before she hears a knock at her door again.
Okay. I give that one 9 out of 10 ghosts. That one's actually kind of scary.
I remember that story from so many years ago. My own granny told it to me. One day, you will tell it too. And so the story goes on and on.
Dang, is that it? Alrighty. I'll rewind this later. So, I could say, for whatever reason, like looking in thrift stores and stuff, it is really hard to find any like this spooky or Halloween related VHS tapes. Did find, so like I only have 2 that are like explicitly spooky, and I had one I wanted to show y'all. I haven't watched it except for like I pre-screened the first few minutes of it today, and there's some imagery in there I think that might get my stream banned, but I'll show you the cover of it at least because it's really funny. Oh, spooky, it just went under my sticker. But yeah, oh, just accidentally did something. Let me just, stop the spookiness of it somehow going under my stickers. Okay, anyway. This, some kind of Christian fundamentalist thing that I thought might be fun, but, could possibly get the stream banned. So, instead, I've got this, like, arts and crafts tape called, Season Delights that should supposedly have some Halloween stuff in it, but we might have to fast forward a bit. Go. Hold on, why is it not playing? Oh, there we go.
The One Stroke Video Library series featuring Donna Dewberry is presented by
Plaid Enterprises Incorporated, bringing quality paints, mediums, stencils, and other tools to painters worldwide.
Oh god, that's Christmas. Hey, there's some pumpkin stuff.
Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry. I'm so glad you could join me. The one-stroke technique is so easy that it's a pleasure to paint special touches for your family and your friends. Today we're going to talk about holiday painting, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And the first thing we're going to do is begin by loading the brush. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 3/4 inch flat brush. I take this brush and I put it in water first. And then I'm going to lay it, let me put it here. I'm going to lay this brush on a paper towel and let the excess water go out. Now what I'm doing is I'm using flat brushes to do my blending, shading, and highlighting. And to load these brushes are the most important thing about one-stroke painting. If we load enough paint in this brush and we put enough pressure, what's going to happen is that we're going to get beautiful blending, shading, and highlighting.
Oh.
And it happens in each stroke that you make. And that's why it's called one-stroke painting. Not because you paint the whole object or the whole flower in one stroke, but each stroke you make gives you that. Now, if
this is actually helpful for my art
really
stuff.
Get a lot of paint when I'm dipping, and then I push really hard. See how hard I'm pushing? I want to push almost down to the silver part of the brush, which is the ferrule, and I want to get the paint 2/3 full. At least 2/3.
Yeah, Mike, I think true believers will definitely see the Armageddon tape in their dreams.
Some vines, and I do a lot of vining around pots and around bordering around pieces that I'm going to do. So
that's why it didn't sell very well.
I'm picking
all
out
the people who
colors.
already believed
saw
like
it
it already.
Water, I don't want you to use any water except for loading the brush. I'm going to dip right into the floating medium. See that? I'm going to work that in, and then I'm going to start right here. I'm kind of using my finger. I'm leading with a lighter color, and I'm going to put my border around my clay pot or my plate or whatever I've decided, or a cake dish. See this? And I'm starting on one side, trailing over to the other side, starting on one side, trailing over the other side, and I've done a vine. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start adding some leaves and pine needles, because that's going to be a really fun project.
That sounds pretty Christmassy.
To add anything. You can add flowers to this. You can add ornaments hanging off of this vine. There's lots of fun things you can do. Now I've used the same brush on the white edge. I picked up a little bit of yellow, and then I picked up green on the brown edge. I wiped a little bit of it off, but pretty much I left the paint loaded in the brush. Now what I'm going to do is to do the holly, which is kind
Holly,
of the same
it's
thing
Christmas.
as the
Nope,
poinsettia.
we gotta fast forward.
Later. Now I've just stroked one half of it, and I want. Right. So now also,
we're still on Christmas.
Thinking, I'll have some berries on here. Now, let's talk about how I'm doing these flowers.
And by the way, this does say it's an hour long on the
yellow on the white edge and a little bit
on the cover. We're not going to watch the full hour. We're just going to try to find the Halloween section.
Now what I wanted to show you is if at this point, see, I want to paint a poinsettia. Now we kind of went over this holly, but
Hold very large grasshopper today.
The walls, and so it's easy to stand on an easel to do.
Christmas section is
and
very
what
long.
people continuously ask me is when they're Now, all you do at this point, you can make this bow like 2 or 3 extra loops
Please,
if you want
Donna,
to.
please.
But then you have to just tie it
Please,
together.
I want to see the
with your stroke
pumpkins,
through it
Donna.
down. Now, that's one kind of bow. It really classes up a piece.
I see
especially
some
for the
yellow and
holidays,
red.
You give it a little bit of glitz.
No, it's
And
not
this is
Christmas.
paper, so it dries pretty quick. But that's
Beginning
not
to wonder
necessarily
if,
what's going to happen on your wood piece. You want to give it a while
if there's
to dry,
anything
okay?
this tape other than
15
this
minutes
Christmas
before you
part.
start doing something like this, probably. Now see this?
Like if he's just gonna say, oh, and now you can take these skills and apply them to painting pumpkins.
Especially during the fall season.
Where are the pumpkins, Donna?
Well, that's drying, and then we'll come back and put some highlights. Now this is almost...
Donna,
Here,
please.
I outline this a little bit, which isn't...
I'm beginning to think I've gotten bamboozled. There's no Halloween on this tape. It's all Christmas. Even though she mentions Halloween first when she's talking about holidays.
paper, or use vinyl floor covering and paint the back of the vinyl floor covering, and you can cut
You're
all
working
of
on a
that with
completely
scissors.
different
And these make great gifts.
Christmas crafts
First
now,
ornaments
Donna.
I did for my tree ever. I couldn't afford a whole tree full of ornaments, so
Like, I have so many Christmas tapes. There's Christmas tapes galore at the thrift stores. I'm planning to do a whole Christmas VHS stream. But god damn it, I was hoping for this to have some Halloween stuff in it.
because I want some pink.
I see
Now, you know,
orange
this
and
is
black.
small. You might can use, if it's a really big snowman, you can use your
Snowman,
bigger
cotton.
trophy, but I think the small one's good here. And
This tape is lies. It says season delights. It's only one season. I guess it does say season and not seasons, but then she listed multiple holidays at the beginning of the tape. Gonna fast forward it for one more minute, see if we can find at least anything that isn't Christmas. If we can't, we're gonna move on.
Okay, and then I want to show you when we're painting. Because that's going to be in the background, kind of.
We've got orange and purple and black.
That would be the first thing I think I would attack as I'm going at this project, okay? After I've got all the backgrounds that I just talked to you about,
Okay, have we found a pumpkin?
The outer edge. Remember I told you, use that edge of the paintbrush, the outer edge, like a pencil to fill that in, okay? To get your shape, and then I fill it in. And then I'm going to come back with a little bit of maple syrup. Or you can use
maple
some
syrup.
Pink colors if you want to, but I just kind of do that with the skin tone. It looks fine because he's a man anyway. You don't need that light.
He's a man.
Cheek. Now, I put
Who's
that
this
there,
man?
but then this chest back here should probably be painted first. But it kind of helps me with placement, and I will
trying to
try
make
to
a
stay away
pilgrim?
from that because I don't want that gold to show through. Remember what I told you when I'm using Inca Gold, that it looks better many times to paint a color first. So I'm not worrying about right here where the beard's gonna go. I don't know if you see that pencil line. It's pretty light here.
It's not
but
fucking
I'm gonna
Santa, is
come
it?
down with the shape using the dark color along the edge. I'm gonna try to miss that hand, but if I don't worry about it. And go back and remember, just add more paint and paint it over again. Okay? Then I'm gonna come right here and do the
I'm gonna
top
fast
edge.
forward and see what this is.
And all the way around, and then fill in.
You know, Donna, like, if you just had some pumpkins, this could have been like a nice Bob Ross type thing. It could have been relaxing to watch, but now I'm infuriated because you lied to me, Donna.
See, I didn't like how it looks, so I just restroke it, remember?
Wait.
Makes it really easy. Now we need this
Is
beard
she making
in
a
here.
wizard?
So his beard, I'm going to use the maple syrup with the burnt umber on the
Okay, if
outer
this
edge
is
so
a
that
wizard,
makes
then
the
I
beard
am...
in here really good.
I forgive you. Like, this is
All right,
awesome.
So there's all kinds of beards you can do. This one I kind of made a little, like it might have a little curl to it, okay? See, it's just got a little bit kind of like that C-stroke I was showing you. You just kind of fill this in. See that light brown and dark brown kind of gives you a little accent. And then you could use a script liner, or I'm going to see if I can do this put his little mustache in there with the chisel edge of that brush. See that? Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to take the script liner while I'm there and go ahead and put maybe an eyebrow. And then it's always easier to do a closed eye, so let's act like he's praying.
Praying.
And then we can put a little detail in the eye here, or you can even put a few lashes on there if you want to. All right. Now we're going to come in with a heavier purple. Bring it right in here.
Why is he praying?
Okay. Now I did that almost all solid because I wanted some contrast. And you can do it another color too. You don't have to do it purple at all. Alright, work that in.
Meaning to think this may not be a cool wizard.
Now see, they're not difficult to paint. It's just you have to take and do the steps. And what's in the back first and what would be in the front. And then if you make a mistake, just start over and paint the thing that would be in the back over. And don't worry about it. I went back and did some detail, but what I want to show you is how I would do the donkey over here. And I used, I wanted some grays and I got some licorice here. And what I'm going to do
fast forward some
is
more.
get some of this lighter tone of gray by working the white and the black together.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a wise man, isn't it? God damn it.
Back just like when we're making the star.
And I'm guessing major scene. Alright, I'm done with this
Do
one.
Oliver.
Whatever, I'm gonna pretend that was a wizard. A cool, spooky wizard. Not even decades old tapes are safe from Christmas creep, folks. Alright, well, I have one that is not on a tape, because I wanted to have a backup in case this didn't work out. But yeah, I didn't. It was kind of a last resort thing because you know, I like to actually have my things be on tapes, and so I prefer not to have seen them before. This is not the last one of the night. We've got one more after this one. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. It's a little loud.
Trick or treat! Come on in, everybody. Go ahead and put your coats over here. We have a wonderful surprise for you. We have something much better than goodie bags to give you this year. Stories. Come on, all of you, grab a seat.
No, I think I would have preferred candy
wonderful
when I was a
that we have
kid.
here. What are you? What are you playing this year?
A pumpkin.
You're a pumpkin. That's right. That's a very pretty pumpkin, too. What are you playing this year?
A snapping turtle.
A snapping turtle. Uh-oh. What are you playing?
A witch.
You're a witch. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
A bad witch.
A bad witch. We have a wonderful story about a witch. This story is based on a Russian folk tale. It's about a little girl who teaches a witch named Bony Legs that it doesn't pay to be mean.
Is it scary?
Just, you know, for fun, kind of scary. Parents, will you help out? Yes. Denise, will you play Bony Legs?
Sure.
We got a costume for you.
Oh, great.
That oh great
Bony
was
Legs by
like,
Joanna Cole, with
oh, I
pictures
didn't
by
realize I
Dirk
was
Zimmerman.
signing up to
This
wear a
book is
costume.
dedicated by the author to Rachel and by the illustrator to
Realized that was
Diana.
off-center.
Bony Legs was a horrible, bad witch. She could run very fast on her bony old legs. Her teeth were made of
That's
iron,
nice skin
and she
tone.
liked
I
to
had a
snack on little children.
pumpkin costume I loved to wear when I was
She lived
very
deep in
small.
the woods in a hut that stood on chicken feet.
Goat
All
child,
day
a kid,
long, she
you
waited
could say.
for children to pass by. On the edge of the same woods, a girl named Sasha lived with her aunt. One morning, Sasha's aunt sent her out.
Sasha, I need you to go borrow a needle and thread.
All right.
Sasha took some bread and butter and a bit of meat for lunch.
Goodbye.
She began to walk. She walked and walked and walked. She was
You're right.
surprised when she
The
came
teacher
to a
is
hut that
Vladimir
stood
Lenin for
on
Halloween.
chicken feet. She decided to go inside. She opened the gate.
Poor Gate. You need some grease.
She scraped the butter from her bread and rubbed it on the hinges of the gate.
That's gonna stink. That's gonna rot and stink and be nasty.
It opened quietly.
Imagine taking like your car
Sasha
into the
walked
shop,
up the
and the
path.
mechanic says, "Oh yeah, I
A
put
skinny
butter on
dog
everything.
stood
It should
in her
run
way.
real smooth now."
Poor dog. You look hungry.
She gave her bread to the dog. He ate it up and did not bark again. A cat was sitting near the hut.
It's a little bit unsettling.
Poor kitty. Are you hungry too?
She gave her meat to the cat. Old Bony Legs poked her head out the window.
What do you want?
Oh yeah, in
My
the
aunt
witch's
would
hut
like to
being
borrow
on
needle and thread.
chicken legs, I'm not sure if this is the Baba Yaga or if it's just
Sasha
something
went
similar to the
inside.
Baba Yaga.
Now, get into the tub.
I'm guessing they didn't want to say
I don't need a
something
bath. I want you nice and
like
clean.
non-English for the small
I'm
kids.
going to have you for supper.
She grinned and showed her iron teeth. Then she went outside to gather sticks for the fire. She locked the door behind her. Sasha was scared. She began to cry.
Don't cry. I will help you. Fill the tub, but don't get in.
Well, I never heard a cat talk before, but I'll do as you say.
Bony Legs called through the door.
Are you washing, girl? Yes, I am. Good.
And she went away to gather more sticks. After she had gone, the cat gave Sasha a silver mirror.
When you are in trouble, throw this away.
That doesn't make sense, but I'll do as you say.
She took the mirror and put it in her pocket.
Now run.
Sasha climbed out the window and began to run. Bony Legs called through the door.
Are you washing, girl?
Yes, I am.
Well, hurry up.
Sasha ran through the yard. The dog stopped her and gave her a wooden comb.
When you need help, throw this away.
That doesn't make sense, but I'll do
That
as you
is
say.
totally wooden
She
right
put the
there.
comb in her pocket. Then she opened the gate. It did not make a sound on its buttered hinges. Sasha ran into the woods.
Are you washing, girl?
Yes, I am.
What? Not done yet?
There was the cat. There was the tub. But where was Sasha?
Sasha's a witch too.
You sneaky cat! Why did you trick me?
You never fed me, but Sasha gave me meat to eat.
Bah!
Said Bony Legs. And she ran into the yard. The dog was sleeping in the sun.
Why didn't you bark at her?
You never fed me, but Sasha gave me bread to eat.
Bah!
Bony Legs rushed to the gate.
They had bread for 40
Why
years.
didn't you lock her in?
One piece of bread.
You never took care of me, but Sasha put butter on my hinges.
The old witch flew into a rage. She stamped her feet,
I've been hearing that
pulled
coming
her
from a
hair,
human.
and even pinched
Butter
her
on my
own nose.
hinges.
But it did not make her feel any better. She ran after Sasha on her bony old legs. Sasha looked back and saw the witch's iron teeth glinting in the sun. Sasha was scared. She remembered the silver mirror. She took it out of her pocket and threw it behind her. The mirror became a deep silver lake.
These witch stories seem to
could not cross it.
the thing in common where it's
She
like you
ran
need
home
3
and got her tub.
magic items to block the witch when you're running away from her.
She rode it across the lake and ran after Sasha on her bony old legs. Sasha saw the witch coming again. She remembered the wooden comb.
The comb. The comb.
Yep,
took it out of
that's
her pocket
wood.
and threw
We're
it
totally not
behind
throwing microplastics into the woods.
The comb grew until it was as tall as 3 trees. Bony Legs could not climb over it. She couldn't even squeeze through it. At last, she gave up. And she stamped her feet, pulled her hair, and pinched her own nose all the way back to her hut. Sasha went home too.
Oh, Auntie!
And you can be sure she never went back to the hut that stood on chicken feet. And for as long as she lived, she never saw old Bony Legs again. The end. Thank you very much.
They actually, in this moment, just forced this lady to get, like, on the soundstage and do that. Do all that.
A wonderful story about a pumpkin. It's about the biggest Halloween pumpkin ever.
Oh, that's my favorite. Can I play Desmond Mouse?
Sure. Denise, will you read this story for us?
Sure.
That's my favorite.
Okay.
The Biggest Pumpkin Ever by Stephen Kroll, with illustrations by Jenny Bassett. Dedicated by the author to Nina Kaufman and by the illustrator to RBL. Once, there were two mice who fell in love with the same pumpkin. Clayton, the house mouse, noticed it one day in the vegetable garden.
The house plant now.
It's still little and green,
Got a free
but I
one
could make
today.
it grow really big. It might even get big enough to win the grand prize at the town pumpkin contest.
Desmond, the field mouse, discovered the pumpkin the same day.
If I helped it grow, this pumpkin could become the biggest jack-o'-lantern in the neighborhood.
That afternoon, Clayton watered the pumpkin.
I'll just mix up a little bit of fertilizer, of manure and water. Oh yeah. Spreading this all around the pumpkin will help it grow larger.
That very same night, Desmond went into the garden.
This pumpkin needs water. And some manure mixed with the water will be good, too.
And the pumpkin began to grow. By the end of a month, the pumpkin was so large, Clayton couldn't believe his eyes.
I can't believe my eyes.
My goodness, and it's not even full
These
grown.
ears
All I
are
do
just
is water it,
amazing.
Mom.
If you want that pumpkin to grow bigger faster, you should use sugar water.
Like Fred Durst, Mouse Man.
That night, Desmond brought his brother Morris to see the pumpkin. Morris knew everything there was to know about growing things.
That's some pumpkin.
All I do is water it, Morris.
You should try using sugar water.
Could he?
The next day,
I don't think
Clayton
it's.
dug
I
a
don't
small hole beside the
think you're really supposed to
vine.
give sugar water
In
to
the
plants.
hole,
I could
he
be
placed
wrong,
a bowl
but
full of sugar water.
I've not heard that before.
He cut into the vine a few inches from the pumpkin. In the cut, he put one end of a piece of candle wick. Then he put the other end in the bowl of sugar water. That night, on the other side of the pumpkin, Desmond did the
How
same.
could these guys not notice?
Within a week, the pumpkin was twice the size it had been.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, it was absolutely enormous. Clayton was amazed.
I'm amazed.
He ran down the road and peeked into his friend Jimmy's pumpkin patch.
The pumpkin Jimmy's going for the contest is much smaller than mine. I have an amazing pumpkin. I think I'm going to win the contest.
That night, Desmond and his brother Morris spent a long time looking at the pumpkin.
How do you think it got that big?
A little luck, a little skill.
It's gonna make some jack-o'-lantern.
Sure is.
By now, summer was almost over. In a week, the pumpkin would be full grown. A few weeks after that, it would be ripe and ready for the pumpkin contest. Clayton could hardly wait. The pumpkin was growing so fast, it would soon be larger than his house.
If the pumpkin is larger than my house, How will I get it to the contest? It won't fit in my red wagon. It won't even fit in a truck.
Clayton decided to worry about this when the time came.
Just gotta get
That night,
a lifted
the
Dodge
weather grew
Ram.
colder.
Oh dear. It could be an early frost.
You need
Blankets.
you
Blankets.
lifted Dodge Ram truck with
Blankets should help.
LED lights. Brights the sun. You know, will not carry it. It won't carry anything. Because, you know, all these big man trucks are just terrible. You actually need like a Japanese K truck, probably.
Huh.
I just realized these like mouse-human hybrid creatures have 4 ears. They have 2 mouse ears and 2 human ears.
You've been feeding the pumpkin? That's why it got so big.
When everything had been explained, Clayton said,
Well, that pretty much explains everything. I know I could win this contest if I could just get this pumpkin to town.
I'll help you. Just let me carve it into a jack-o'-lantern when the contest is over.
It's a deal.
A deal.
the morning of the contest was bright and sunny.
Fred
Mice
Durst,
were bringing
Mouse
their
Man,
pumpkins
number
to
1
town
pumpkin
square
fan.
by truck and car and wagon. Some were rolling them along the ground.
Yeah, yours is beautiful. Yours is too great.
Suddenly, they all stopped short.
You see that?
There was the biggest pumpkin anyone had ever seen.
I've never seen anything like that. Look at it. It's enormous. Huge.
Madam Mayor, our pumpkin is too big for any streets, so we can't bring it to the square.
I understand.
Wait, was the pumpkin in
And
the
she
shot
pinned
like
the first
earlier?
prize ribbon on the side of the giant pumpkin.
Would have believed this?
Looked like it was.
Then everyone
Maybe I was
danced
looking at
around
something
it.
else. Not dancing around it, they're dancing in front of it.
The day before Halloween, they carved it into the best jack-o'-lantern ever.
Pumpkin seeds.
I guess I should be rating these stories.
These are good.
Last story was like 5 out of
Are
10
you gonna make a
ghosts.
tooth?
Yeah, I'm gonna start that right here.
Cool.
This one, unless there's...
And on Halloween night, its
Well, that's a pretty cool
wonderful
shot.
smiling face could be seen glowing for miles around.
like this sort of silhouetted live action over drawing. So this is like a 6 out of 10 ghost.
Let's hear another story.
Okay, one more? Yeah? All right. There we have a monster, right? Monsters. Halloween is a great time for monsters. I have a wonderful story about monsters right here. It's a great book. You want to hear this one? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's about monsters and their manners. What are manners, by the way? What would be bad manners if you're eating?
Bad manners are throwing your food on the floor.
That's right. Throwing your food on the floor. That's right.
Right.
Let's see if monsters have different manners than you and me.
Monster Manners by Joanna Cole, illustrated by Jared Lee. This book is dedicated to Rachel. Rosie Monster looked like a perfect little monster. She had nice strong teeth and sharp little claws and green eyes that glowed in the dark. Rosie had just one problem. She was always forgetting her monster manners. Monsters are supposed to fight with their friends and break each other's toys. Rosie played nicely with everyone. This made her mother very unhappy. Monsters are supposed to growl loudly when they answer the telephone.
A little bit.
Rosie always forgot and said,
"Hello?"
in a polite voice. Her father found this very upsetting. Monsters are supposed to chew up rocks to show how fierce they are. But after one bite, Rosie would stop crunching and run for her toothbrush. She didn't like the way the bits of rock got stuck between the teeth. One day, when the family was out walking, Rosie even helped an old man cross the street.
That'll blast the rocks out.
You don't look as if you're 99.
Eat bits of asphalt off of I-75, and I imagine rocks are pretty similar.
I'm afraid Rosie will never learn.
How will she ever get along in the world?
Poor child.
While they were talking, Rosie's best friend Prunella came by.
Oh my god.
You have good manners, Prunella. Will you teach me?
Sure! What a gal!
And so Prunella came over to give Rosie some lessons.
Ready? Ready?
The first lesson was making monster faces. Prunella showed Rosie how to make monster face number 1.
Oh, I'm gonna try to make some.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
And number 4.
You know, I'm not gonna make that face.
Then it was Rosie's turn. She tried monster face number 1, then number 2, number 3.
I think these are pretty good monster
and
faces.
Number 4.
What's wrong with them?
That's terrible! Let's try something else. Maybe you're better at table manners.
Prunella took Rosie to a restaurant and ordered lunch.
I'm very hungry.
Don't say please, Rosie.
Give me the milk.
Everyone fainted when
Give me
Prunella
the
started
fish.
to eat. What a
Give
horrible
me the
sight.
butter so I can put it on my hinges.
Oh, gross.
Rosie forgot her
The,
monster manners
sour
as
spaghetti.
usual. She used her napkin and her fork and spoon. And when she needed salt, she forgot again and said,
Please pass the salt, Prunella.
Prunella was angry. Prunella decided to give Rosie one more chance.
This time, we'll practice our visiting manners. We'll drop in on my Uncle Ned.
Prunella behaved perfectly for a monster. First,
I
she
mean,
rang the
it's-
doorbell 10 times without
Well, I guess
stopping,
it would be good
even
monster
when she heard
manners
her
to just
uncle
drop
say,
in unannounced.
Then Prunella knocked so hard the door fell down. She went inside and jumped up and down on her uncle's favorite chair.
I know one of these illustrations
She spilled a vase of flowers
in
on
the
the
back.
rug. And finally, she stepped very hard on Uncle Ned's foot. Uncle Ned was proud of Prunella.
Good girl.
But Rosie said,
How do you do?
and sat quietly in the armchair.
How
Uncle Ned
dare
was
she.
horrified.
Prunella, I suggest you take your friend home. I don't want to see her around here again until she learns some manners.
I did my best, Rosie. I can't do anymore.
Rosie hung her head and followed Prunella. For the first time, Rosie realized how unhappy she had made everyone. And now she felt unhappy too. When Rosie and Prunella got to the monster's house, they saw a big mess. A pipe had broken and water was pouring everywhere.
Dang.
Help! Help! We're getting flooded!
Rosie's mother and father came running. Rosie's mother called the plumber.
Hello?
Mario Bros. Plumbing. You clog 'em, we clear 'em.
The plumber hung up. Rosie's father called and roared into the phone. The plumber hung up harder. Prunella tried too, but the same thing happened.
Challenge. Just call someone and yell that into the phone verbatim.
They were getting nowhere, and the water was getting deeper. Something had to be done.
Don't actually
and
do that.
Rosie did it. Without thinking, she dialed the phone and said in a nice voice,
Hello? We have a leak at the monster's house. Can you come over, please?
I'll be right there.
Thank you.
After the plumber had left and everything was back to normal, Rosie's mother turned to Rosie's father.
You know, dear, Rosie's strange manners do come in handy sometimes.
We're lucky to have her. Strange manners and all.
They gave Rosie a hug and a kiss and sent her out to play.
Slightly unpleasant.
Mind your manners, dear.
I will, Mother.
The end.
Yay!
Isn't very scary at all. 3 out of 10
that's
ghosts.
It. Thank you all so very much for joining us for our trick-or-treat session. We want you to come back next Halloween, all right? But you have to promise us that there will be no tricks, all right? No tricks, okay? Okay, thanks a lot. Happy Halloween to you.
Happy Halloween.
Goodbye.
It's one of the hazards, the true horrors of Halloween.
Bye-bye. Happy Halloween.
You might get a tail put on you. You might become one of us furries.
Scholastic is the place where readers can learn.
These are the books that show the way
To the place to listen and read.
Readers here who open the book.
Kinda dig the song.
Using the light that shows the way. Find the place to listen and read.
Books to unveil a story or tale.
Books that define, books that broaden the mind.
Use the light that shows the way.
Pictures and art for a head start.
Words are the seed for people who read.
Use the light that shows the way. To the place to listen and read.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be right back, and then we'll get on to the final tape of the night. But don't go anywhere. Enjoy this brand new, thing I've got for you.
Shit!
Heck, there was some kind of exporting error, so that is unfortunate. No, still. Nope. I'm not doing this.
I'm dead, and I think somehow my soul got trapped in your VCR. So if you could, like, call call an exorcist or maybe throw some burning sage in there, I'd really appreciate it. I have a new best friend. Introducing Pumpkin Dawn.
Hi. Hello. I was just walking by and happened to smell the sweet smell of a soul cake coming from inside your home. May I please have one?
I'm a vamp. Alright, I guess for the sake of an honest food review, I have to eat the feet. Kinda just tastes like sugar and cinnamon. Do you ever find yourself thinking about monsters, ghosts, otherworldly phenomena, cryptids, haunted places, strange inhuman figures, monsters, demons, phantom trains, the supernatural, the paranormal, the magical, spirits of the dead, mythological legends, parking garage tentacles, things beyond our imagination that can make our imaginations run wild, ghosts, things unknown to science and common folk everywhere, phantom trains, ghosts and goblins.
Don't mind me, I'm just a ghost.
You want me to go to the haunted forest on Halloween? That's incredibly dangerous.
Shit!
Nope. Nope. I am not doing this. Okay. I have returned, and I'm about to do something that is extremely rare for me. I'm going to change into my human form briefly on stream. Well, actually, let me give a little bit of background first and pull up the next tape. Just a second. Okay, it doesn't want to show. Oh, there we go. Monsters Be Gone. Bedtime Survival Kit. This, first of all, I mean, look at the beautiful face this child is making on this cover. This is very cool. So this wasn't just a VHS. It also has a door hanger thing, a nightlight, and a bottle of anti-monster spray. And I'm gonna be trying that out live in just a minute. I really want to know what it smells like. I bet I can fit the full thing in there. Alright, get ready for me to transform. Blah. So, first I want to show you the door hanger. I mean, I haven't tried it out myself, but I'm sure it hangs just fine. And now I have an image of the nightlight in action here. It's a nice orange color. Like, from the look of it, I was expecting it to just be, I guess you can't really see how it looks too much in this. But, I mean, there, you can see it like that. From the look of it, I was not expecting it to be anything other than just, like, a white light. But it's a pretty nice orange. Now, lastly, but certainly not least, the spray. You can see a little ghost on it. Now keep in mind, this is been sitting in this bottle for 24 years. Oh, It smells... What is that smell? It doesn't smell... It smells like a barber shop. It smells like something they spray on your hair when you're gonna get your hair cut. Not necessarily like something I should be breathing in. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that little review. Let's, I'm gonna switch back to my goat form now. Ah. Okay. And in just a second, let me get that tape in the player. It was brand new when I got it, too. Like, it was still wrapped in plastic. Alright, I'm ready for some more spooks. Perhaps anti-spooks to keep the monsters away. Oh, that doesn't apply to me, because I can't read. Uh-oh. Oh, it is a little bit crusty. Been looking forward to watching this for like a month. I don't know much at all about what's on it. Except that it has pop sensation Mandy Moore.
Have you ever been in the dark, all alone? Nothing to be afraid of, right? That's what I thought.
Whoa, that was a scary face. Boys and Girls United, Chris Ruiz, and Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick are also in this. Whoa, that is some CGI right there.
Mom and Dad are ready to leave.
I'm not going. Our new house scares me. It's not even a house.
Why are you always so stubborn? You haven't even seen it yet. You might like it.
I don't want to move to a hotel. I want to stay here with my friend. Brent said I could live with him.
Move to a
We're down
hotel.
here, Mom. Look, you can't live with Brent, as much as I'd like it. Besides, living in an inn might be fun. Think of all the neat places you get to explore. Now come on, the moving van's already left. Fine.
What if it's full of monsters? Rooms and rooms of them.
It was filmed in
Well,
Florida.
it can't be any worse than what's hiding under
This
this
looks a
stuff.
lot like Central Florida.
Hey, wait for me! This is where it all started. In fact, the very moment our car turned into the parking lot, I got this funny feeling, like someone was watching us.
See those two kids, Taz and Brittany?
Are you sure we have to move here?
Taz, you know why we moved here.
I know. Aunt Agatha left you and Dad this hotel.
Well, it's not really a hotel, it's more
so-
like an inn.
That looks nice.
Sure looks creepy. I'll bet it's full of monsters.
Doesn't-
Yes, you know
I
there's
mean,
no
I guess
such
it
thing as
looks a little
monsters.
creepy,
Yes,
like
they
it was built in
are.
the
I've seen
70s,
'em,
maybe.
especially under my bed.
Ready?
This is so exciting.
Honey, parents.
I don't know why my converter doesn't like this one so much. Like this brand new.
Just
Whoa!
dreadful.
What is
Oh God, the goatee.
Those children, they're moving into the inn. What in? Not what in. Who's in?
I thought they was moving out. Look, they moving into me.
They not have my
What
room.
did she say?
They're not moving in the inn.
Is
They're
she
moving
speaking
to
English?
the inn.
Why are they moving in if they're not moving to the inn?
Oh, stop it! They're moving to his inn. What's a his inn? Silence, you genetic dribble! The family is moving into the home of my former arch-enemy, who I even hate to mention his name. Magical! I hate it when someone else mentions his name, too.
Forgot to mention, I don't know if it shows up, but the anti-monster spray is like very sort of like violet in color.
Inside, the place even looked spooky, like an attic. I guess that was why I wanted to explore the rest of the house.
Ha! They're inside! Are you ready?
All systems go.
I just love surprises.
Here it comes.
Ah, yes.
Oh my God.
That'll do nicely.
Oh, please let me see that tape
You know what
converter,
to do.
please. That looks awesome.
This is so cool.
Why is it like this?
Look, a basement. I wonder what's down there. Hey, remember that famous magician that Dad told us about that used to live here?
You don't really believe that stuff, do you? Besides, there's a few too many spiders down there for me.
Oh, come
Spiders
on.
aren't real.
No
We know.
way.
We established this.
Get out of my way.
There's some Jygilzo effects right here.
Success! You'll never find Magic Al now.
They'll never find Magic Al.
He's in the basement.
Who's in the basement?
I don't know, but he's big and he's ugly and he has long arms.
Sounds like my basketball coach.
Come on. Okay. I'll go check it out.
I don't know why the converter doesn't like this one. Like, this was brand
That's what he
new.
was wearing.
Well, that's all that's down there.
I'll admit, at first, I thought I imagined seeing a monster.
By the way, how'd you guys sleep last night?
Oh, great.
I kept hearing noises all night, like a piano playing.
I think those noises you heard were the unsettling last night. Old buildings tend to do that.
Okay.
Buildings filled with monsters.
I don't know if old buildings settling sounds like
But
piano,
after
though.
breakfast the next day, we met some other kids who lived next door. That's when I knew something was up.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Ruthie. I'm Conrad. You know, everyone says they hear strange noises coming from your hotel at night.
Ruthie? Yeah, like a piano playing or something. They're just trying to scare you.
So that's what I heard last night.
So then it's true. The hotel really is haunted?
Well, my dad says it's just the old house settling, but Taz doesn't believe him.
In the daytime, we played outside and nothing seemed unusual. But at night in my room, I could hear noises coming from the basement. One time, I got a flashlight and went down there to see for myself. The monsters were waiting for me. At least that's what I thought. But Dad was right. The noises must have come from the house settling.
When it is actually playing, this like heavy VHS buzz definitely adds to the vibe.
Car. It was really weird. The car took off on its own down the stairs and into the basement.
Anyone down here?
What is this? Out of the way! He can't go into the basement!
Go into the basement.
Help! Somebody! In the basement! Help! Mom! Dad!
We gotta stop him! Battle stations, everyone! We're gonna put an end to this once and for all.
I was nervous about being locked in the basement, but I had to find my car. That's when I found it, the badge of courage. But I didn't know its true power until I came face to face with Professor
Why didn't they include the
and
badge
his
of
mind
courage
machine.
in the bedtime survival kit?
Oh no, not again.
Whoa, big spider.
Hurry! Good job.
What are they trying to do? What is their plan?
Hold everything. There he is! Catch him!
Sir, you do not need to be doing that. You do not need to be smelling for children. Shit.
Is the coast clear?
Not yet.
Oh my god.
What's the matter, Rabbit? Nowhere else to run? He's trapped!
Go away! I don't even believe you're real!
Oh, I wish I could see these effects. It's amazing special effects.
This is not the end!
Flute was the reason all kids were afraid of monsters. But the badge, where did it come from?
Jesus Christ. Let me see if I can do something real quick to fix this. Probably not, but I'll try.
Well, how's this? like that much better. In your
Yeah,
pocket.
no. Oh well.
Thank you. Please forgive us. It's just that
This
we've
is
been
why
trapped
there's
inside that picture for so very
photosensitivity
long.
warning.
I'm Albert Adam Artemis Huddlesink, but everyone calls me Magic Al. Oh, and my assistant,
Magic Al.
Mortimer Maltavis Muller, Mr. Music for short. Oh. Just look at this dust.
Did you used to live here?
Well, of course. That is until Mr. Music and I became trapped inside that picture. Well, if you hadn't come along and dipped the keys to my piano, we'd still be stuck there, and for that, we are truly grateful, Taz.
How'd you know my name?
I'm glad you asked. Now, gather round, everyone. Gather round. Let's see. Ah, yes. Here you are. My first entry. It says here that you were brave today. Very brave. Nothing up my sleeve. And Mr. Music. I know. May I remind you what happened last time? I tried to pull out a rabbit. And what did you get? Something bigger. A tiger, I recall. Anyway, today, Taz, when you found my secret passageway to the Dream Factory, only now it's no longer a dream factory, it's a mind factory, a most dreadful place.
What?
Anyway, you were trapped inside the mind factory and all seemed lost, but then you showed great courage when you stood up to Professor Clute.
Are you sure it was me? I think it was this that scared them.
But it was your courage that made the badge work.
What are all these factories you're talking about?
Mind factory. You were trapped inside the mind factory. Do you ever have bad dreams or feel scared of, say, monsters under your bed, even though you know they're not really there?
I've never had a single dream, sir.
Sometimes.
Well, these bad dreams and monsters come from the mind factory, and the evil Professor Clute runs it.
Who's Professor Clute?
That's a rather long story. Do you have a moment?
He always did like a captive audience.
Then please, make yourself comfortable. Popcorn,
There's so
soda.
much goofiness that we're missing because
What about me?
of this. I really didn't expect it to have trouble with this tape. Oh, gross.
Hold the soda.
Now, where were we?
Professor Clute in the Mind Factory.
Ah, yes. It all began many, many years ago. Mr. Music, remember rule number 1?
You know, don't play with the buttons, don't touch the buttons, don't play with the buttons, don't...
Precisely. Pardon me, sir. I'm looking for Magic Al. Well, that would be me, sir, but who are you?
Professor Claudius Crawford Clute. I'm a friend of Sam's. He told me all about your factory. In fact, he loaned me, yes, he loaned me the magic dust to get here.
Well,
Magic dust, huh?
Let me give you a magic...
Yeah, I can imagine some magic dust was
Ta-da!
included,
Oh, how quaint.
was involved in making this video.
Susu, Marlin, and Clifton. See what can happen when you pick your nose? Oh, I've waited a long time for this visit. Yes, Sam told me that you might show me how everything works.
Well, I don't know. I've never really let those secrets out before.
Why would you want to keep making children happy a secret? That sounds kind of selfish to me.
Yeah, it kind of
Why,
does.
No, it's not like I want to be the only one that makes children happy. It's just that this machine is very powerful. If it ever got into the wrong hands...
Well, you have nothing to worry about with me. I mean, I trust you. And Sam said any friend of his could be a friend of mine.
Friend of Sam's, eh? Well, I suppose if we can trust
Same.
each other, then I'll show you around.
Might have missed a detail or two.
I can see for myself the main elements and ingredients. But what I want to know is, how does it work? Well, I really don't know. I mean, I'll stand back here and observe.
Well, I do have quite a bit of work to do.
Well, then I'll stand back here, out of the way.
Magic Al, but I don't know if we should...
Mr. Music.
All the ingredients added? Yes, but Magic Al...
Do we have all the levers set properly?
Yes, but...
Good. Then let's give it a go. Sweet dreams, I'm sure.
2 kind thoughts to the right. Now 3 good deeds to the left. And honesty all the way around. You're sure
No, I'm being
your
hypnotized.
friend Sam? Oh yes, I've known Sam for a long time. Which reminds me, I have a new trick that he insisted I show you.
I'm sure it's marvelous, but I really do have a lot of work.
It'll only take a minute, and it's something you'll remember for a long time. I'm going to make a picture out of you. A picture of you.
Well, I suppose just one moment.
Where Luigi's mentioning
I
it.
really do love pictures.
Excellent. Move into position.
I do
over
love
here. Come over.
pictures.
Come over. That's it. Good. Stand right there. Perfect. The frame. Can't have a picture without a frame. Hold it up there. Nice. That's it. Together. Let me take a little bit of magic dust now.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
We can't have the
Both
kids seeing him
the
taking
same.
magic dust.
Let's put both of them in the frame. Hope it's not too crowded in there, boys. Merlin, get rid of this. Quick, you fools.
Say Merlin?
The new ingredients. Quickly. We must ruin the dreams of those sappy, sweet little faces. Once and for all.
That's where I just want.
Okay, I'm gonna try something again to get this to actually output video.
Yes, but they call it a mind factory now. Oops. Thank you, William Tell.
Don't know what the issue
that
is.
Sam isn't much of a friend.
Oh, believe me, I've had plenty of time to think about that stuck in here with Mr. Music.
So what do we do now?
Well, maybe we ought to ask old Sam about that.
Sam, but who might you be? Claudius Crawford Clute. I'm with the Acme Dust Company. And I'm so glad I caught you, Mr. Magician. It's nice to see you, but you know what? I have bad news for you. First, let me inquire. Did you or did you not purchase the deluxe industrial size soft case of 100% pure magical dust?
Mr. Clodhopper Crawfish, what was your name again?
Claudius Crawford Clute, but you, sir, you can call me Professor.
Well, Professor, my name isn't Mr. Magician, it's Sam. And I haven't purchased anything from your company, and I would like to know what business is it of yours anyway?
Well, sir, I thought I explained that. I represent the Acme Magical Dust Company, and according to our records, sir, your purchase of the deluxe industrial size case of 100% pure magical dust is, well, not exactly 100% pure. So we're recalling
Oh, the bird.
To put it
There's a bird.
simply, sir, it's defective.
That would be bad news. But since I haven't purchased any magical dust from the Acme Magical Dust Company, and everything in my shop works perfectly, I think I'll bid you adieu as I have a shop to run and I have things to do.
Oh, look I see right here on my papers, you didn't purchase it directly from the Acme Magical Dust Company. But you see, sir, we're very quality conscious. So we traced it. We traced it back to this particular supply. And now I know that, sir, you may be a little hesitant.
This world
to trust
is
me with such
a bit
valuable
wild for
commodity,
magic
but,
dust.
if you'll allow me to conduct a simple experiment right here in your store, I think I can settle this once and for all.
And what would you need to do this test?
It's very simple. It's very simple. In fact, all I need is a little bit of the ingredients, and I'd sprinkle it into this test tube. Hey, if it turns red, then it's defective. But if it turns green, it's okay. Okay, I'll be right back. Yes, 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 yes.
Ah, here it is. Now, can you be quick about this?
Oh, yes, sir. This will only take a minute. Let me just take a little bit of this.
A little bit of that, all right? And a tiny bit. Could you just take the top there for me? Thank you. Very nice. Just a little bit in there, and... oh, as you can see there, it's red. That's enough. Yes, oh, it's defective. Well, I'm afraid I'll have to take this back.
I hate it when I have defective magic
I
dust.
I call your company. How silly of me! I've been given authorization to give you our latest sample of the... oh, this is the best magical dust we've ever come up with. In fact, I'm going to add an additional 30% at no extra charge. But be advised, this dust is of the highest quality, and you'll have no problem with this. Wait a second. Wait a second. This isn't any more potent. In fact, it's not magic dust at all.
I've got what I need.
This isn't magic dust at all, it's just flour.
See how the time flies? So do I.
Whoa. That was a good special effect.
Gal, he tricked him too. You think since we're not hanging around anymore, we might be able to get them out of the dream factory?
No, Mr. Music. He's becoming even too powerful for me.
Is there anything we can do?
Well, it won't be easy, but Professor Clute can be stopped. How? Children.
Children?
Yes, children can stop Professor Clute.
But you said he's too powerful even for you.
If children aren't scared of monsters under the bed or in the closet, and if they aren't scared of things that aren't really there, well, then Professor Clute will have no power. And poof, he'll just fade away.
But you know, it's not easy for children to be brave.
I know, but children can overcome their fears with a little help.
Of course!
Kids,
and I'm just the
this
person to
bedtime
help them.
survival
Come
kit
on, Mr. Music.
available
We've
for
got
purchase
work.
at Target.
Yeah, you're gonna need a little help. Do you still have that badge I gave you a few years ago?
Maybe.
Is this it?
Splendid. This works wonders on the common closet monster, and the under the bed types don't like it much either.
Gee, thanks.
Well, gentlemen, I'm afraid I'll have to get back to my shop. I have a lot of work to do.
Sure, Sam. Would you like us to put you back to sleep?
Anyway, gentlemen, I must bid you adieu.
So, Taz, are you ready to help me put Professor Clute out of business?
Sure.
Splendid.
So what do you want me to do?
Yes, do well. Your courage and the badge will work wonders. But I'll be on the internet if you need a little extra
The
help.
internet.
Bad dreams and monsters go away. Magic Owl won't let you stay.
Hold on, is there a website I can go to?
So Taz can reach me anytime.
I don't see one on the VHS cover.
Cool.
Oh my god, the internet.
Now that Magic Owl was free, I had to let the other kids know how to contact him and keep the monsters from coming back.
See, with this cellular modem, we can get on the
So was that never a real website?
This is incredible! Is that Taz?
Guys, you'll never believe what happened to me.
Taz, where have you been? What, did one of those monsters get you?
God, it's getting real
No,
bad
I was in
again.
the basement with Magic Albert.
Who's Magic Albert?
He's a magician who used to live in the inn.
Is this some kind of weird joke?
I'm not joking, Brittany. Look, he gave me this. Here, look.
Hello, kids. Magic Owl's the name, and magic is my game.
Really want to go to this website.
Oh. Amazing!
Taz will tell you all about me and the Mind Factory and why we need your help.
But what's a mind factory?
Taz, Brittany, Lodge.
Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it. Hey, Elizabeth, can you tell the rest of the guys to meet back here after lunch?
You bet. Wait till I tell them about this.
Great, after lunch then.
There are evil people making nightmares in the basements.
Hey, that you monster.
Florida, except wait, it can't be in Florida because we don't have basements.
Started a new club. We're gonna help Magic Al get rid of Mr. Clue.
Unless it's
then
on a hill.
Kids won't have any more bad dreams or be afraid of things that aren't real, like monsters.
That's a noble idea for a club.
We thought so too. What's noble?
Doing something right for others. Sweet dreams.
For sure.
Noble means, you don't mix with the pores, actually.
Stop it, you fools! We're losing power because Taz and his friends aren't afraid anymore! My poor machine! I'll get you for this, Magic Al.
To be continued. Was there a sequel? Okay, well, that was pretty fun for what I could see of it. It's gonna be an 8 out of 10 Ghosts, I think. I really enjoyed the CGI monster. Well, that is the last tape for tonight. Oh, the chair was squeaking loud. That's the last tape for tonight. I hope you all aren't too shaken, too covered in piss, all that. It was pretty scary, but the scariest thing on there was definitely that like scholastic witch story, not the live action one, but the first one that was animated. That was actually pretty scary. It's starting soon, it's ending soon. So, I might, there's no guarantees here, but I might have a sort of shorter, casual game stream happening tonight. Very impromptu, but there is a game I would like to try out, and I would like to stream. So, maybe check back in like 30 minutes to an hour, if you can. Other than that, have a real spooky night.